Had a breakout. Was started the season on
Hàn
the
lão,
bench.
Dương tiên sinh, sao vậy?
Had a couple of
Mấy
breakout
thứ đó
games and then hadn't played in 6 matches until yesterday. Pride with that good lure serve. Workmeister. Bumped up by McDonald to the advantage of a point. Good hustle that time by Atkins. So we're even at 1.
Yeah, and that's Perry with athleticism, taking control of a ball where Providence wasn't ready for it. And even though it didn't result in the direct kill, it resulted in a ball that Providence ultimately couldn't do much with.
Blocked at the net by Rome. And UConn takes its first lead of the second set.
Speaking of, similar point drawn up there. Rome got well above the net and took care of it.
Good line drive served by Brand, barely skimming the twine, and boy, that one just went out of bounds.
I think Providence would love to argue, except it landed right at the feet of the official.
Right, you'd hope he'd see that.
Yeah.
Of course, we had one game this year where the ball went out on the baseline of the right, and a group of UConn parents, including Grace Maria's mom, former basketball Husky Sarah Northway, told UConn to challenge. Well, they did in the challenge. They lost the challenge.
Thanks, Mom.
Don't see the Marias here today. I guarantee you they are watching back in Virginia here on ESPN+. Here's McDonald to serve. Perry denied at the net, and we're even at 3. It's a Providence team that's played 12 3-set matches already this year. Lost in 3 sets to Creighton, as did UConn, as do many teams.
Not to the extent that the Nebraska Cornhuskers, #1 team in the country, they've won 33 sets in a row.
Oh, that's got to be frustrating as Perry comes out, replaced by Wyman.
7 straight shutout wins. There's a.
Do Creighton and Nebraska play? They must, right? Must play a non-conference game. Adam will get to work on the computer as Wyman with a service error. UConn's 5th. Evens the set at 4. UConn won the first set, 25-12, 25-22, pulled away from a 20-all tie.
Yeah, earlier this year, went to 5 sets.
Good low serve by Atkins, dug out by Wyman. Wynn tried to get a little tricky with that. Good bump by Wyman. Blocked, but blocked out of bounds. Workmeister and Rome, and Providence goes back on top 5-4.
Yeah, Nebraska won sets 1, 3, and 5. That match was back on September 16th in Omaha, so slight home court advantage for the Blue Jays. But
I would guess anywhere Nebraska goes,
yeah,
in Nebraska, even if it's at Creighton's arena, it's a Nebraska advantage. They love their volleyball. That's blocked out of bounds. 3 points in a row for Providence. And that's their first 2-point lead of the match at 6-4.
One's close, but Rome couldn't thread it in.
Kutlu goes in the middle for Maria. Bumped up by Koken. They come near side. Point for Macy Taylor. And UConn's going to take its first time out. Friars on a 4-0 run. Down a set, leading in the here on ESPN.
Here in the season.
Having a great year, right?
20-2. They won both of their matches this weekend. Incredible. 9-1 in conference play.
8th kill of the match for Workmeister. That stops the Friars' run at 4 and gets the serve back for Emma with UConn down 7-5. Yeah, I like what the Big East does schedule-wise, where they group like UConn and Providence, and they play the same opponents most of the time in the same geographical regions. Another service error for UConn. And Huskies not capitalizing on that serve. They are third nationally in aces per set, but they only have the one ace this afternoon. In fact, each team only with one ace.
Providence is 16th in that department.
Patty Fry puts the ball in play, and Audrey Rome takes the ball out of play.
Yeah.
Her 7th kill. She's hitting a robust .636. Here is Maggie Carley, in for just the 6th time this season. The junior from Trumbull, to put it in play for UConn. How about that? How about that, Maggie Carley? Get an ace, young lady. And that brings the bench up and gets UConn within one. Boy, good deep serve, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of those where you can't even second guess it. If you're Providence, you got to go after that one. It was going to land in play regardless.
UConn, its own worst enemy in the service game this afternoon. That'll be it for Carly. I don't think we're done seeing her today, though.
No, giveth and taketh away.
So here's Miller McDonald. 82nd match as a Friar. Floats that left-handed serve. Huskies have a chance in rhythm here. Kudlu bumped by Atkins. Kudlu went for that no-look. Providence was ready. It's kind of a wonky point that time, and Jordan Hughes played it out. Looked like they were off balance and going in different directions.
And it was Hadley Pride who let it go at the tail end, but it was Hadley Pride who did an outstanding job earlier on in that exchange to keep things alive and ultimately earn that point for Providence.
Workmeister's got to go low to play it. Tilska's blocked at the net. They set her up again. This time sends it out of bounds. Biggest lead of the match for Providence, 4 at 11-7. You know, if you're a Providence team that's struggled in the conference, this is the kind of set that can really change your momentum around. And as you mentioned, you know, Providence, it will take a lot for them to make the 4-team Big East tournament, but saying the same thing, UConn's also in a scenario where they've got to take care of business as Tilska gets a kill.
Right, and obviously Providence is doing everything that they can to get a win here today and turn the season around, whether or not it results in a Big East tournament appearance. But even if you're UConn and you think, okay, Providence, St. John, Seton Hall, yes, these are the 3 bottom teams in the standings. Even if you go on a mini run right now, you still only get to 7-5.
McDonald tried the Kudlu play, and then it's killed by Koken. 12-8. And so UConn and DePaul, 5-5. Or rather, UConn 5-6, trying to get to. Oh, I'm sorry, UConn trying to get to 5-5. My
right,
bad.
yeah.
Too many numbers over the weekend. There's an ace. Second ace of the match. Nice little celebratory dance. And UConn's going to take another timeout. And I think Ellen Herman Kimball's the happiest person on the planet here.
And at least for you, Joe, you haven't called anything a slap shot yet, so I suppose that's
it might be coming.
A success.
So Providence with a 5-point lead. They trailed it 3-1, went on a 6-1 run, and have had the lead ever since.
Yeah, no, this has been an outstanding set, and we saw that tide start to shift for Providence when they called the first time out in that opening set. And we had said if UConn hadn't gone on such a strong opening run, it very likely could have been
Fruit 6.
Not much is that close in the Corn Belt.
Tilska gets the serve back for UConn, and they'll bring Maria in to serve. You're going to look at the UConn bench, which never sits on the bench. It's always standing, as is Providence. Maria looking over for the signal on where to put the serve. Oh, what a kill by Koken. She almost knocked McKenna Brand down with that. Koken generates, as you mentioned, Adam, a lot of power.
Yeah, you take this one right in the chops. Reflexive. Could have kept it moving if you're UConn off the net. Self-preservation there from Brand.
Jordan Hughes sails it out of bounds.
Coming out of this timeout, still more Providence College.
It's a 6-point Friar lead at 15-9. Pride had a 15-dig game Friday against Creighton. Had 432 on the season coming in. Near pin, it's Perry blocked up by McDonald. And the set for Atkins. And it's all Providence here in the second set. Biggest lead either team has had in the match at 7. One thing that Pride's done well is she's rotated. Well, I was going to compliment her serve. So I say she's rotated between floating serves and powering serves, but that one floated into the net. So here's Brand. UConn needs a run.
They do, and a service error from Providence is really the last thing that they wanted when all the momentum had started to stick in their tailwinds.
They come near side for Atkins, and she sends it out. Cuts the Providence lead to 5, and Brand will continue to serve for UConn. That's 27 aces on the season coming in. Providence in rhythm. Brand dives to keep it alive, so does Stilska. Free ball Friars. Almost look like two Huskies hit it concurrently there. Atkins plays it off, Perry out of bounds.
Yeah, and for Providence, you give up a couple of points consecutively, but you built such a lead that as long as you just don't allow any sort of massive run by UConn, you're going to be okay in this set.
Koken to serve, up 6. Right in the middle. Kutlu sets up Rome. Rome's so effective on that play in the middle where Kutlu dishes the short pass. Almost takes the defense by surprise with that pass. So here's Wyman in to serve. UConn looking to make a run. Providence looking to even it up in a set apiece. Blocked back. Workmeister. That was not the hardest hit ball.
Nope. But there was nobody there to fill in behind Sophia Atkins, so it worked just fine.
Almost looked like she hit it with her left hand. Getting it over. They gave Workmeister and Rome a half a block apiece if you're scoring at home on a Sunday. 17-13, Providence on top after UConn took the first set. 25-22. Inadvertently played backwards by Easterbrook. UConn's back line taken by surprise by Tori Otter. That certainly looked like a playable ball, right?
Yeah, just sometimes placement over power. That was certainly a case of that.
Here's the first serve of the match for the freshman from Massachusetts, fielding Mayhew. They come this side. Diving effort by Wyman. Joust at the net. Played off of Brand. Out of bounds. 19-13 Providence.
And on this joust, following the point, Ellen Herman Kimball checking with the official, maybe considering a challenge on net contact, but opts against it.
You know, the one thing Providence has done as they get to 21st off the block by Otter, UConn really is off balance receiving serve here. Providence has done a terrific job of keeping the UConn back three receiving serve off balance.
And that's where there haven't been more than a couple service aces here, but sometimes the dominance on the serve isn't always calculated simply in aces.
Right, exactly. Huskies get the serve back. It'll be Workmeister as Tilska replaces Maria. Huskies could use some of Workmeister's serve magic here. Down by 6. Nice dig by Hadley Pride. Good deep kill that time by Macy Taylor of Providence. And Tilska with the kill. Now, that's what UConn's got to do is keep the ball in play until you can set up one of your bigs, be it Tilska or Rome at the net or Workmeister. And good timeout by Margot Royer Johnson. The team's got a big lead, but she doesn't want to give UConn any momentum.
Yeah, this is, I wouldn't say it's tenuous at the moment. It's not. Providence is in control, but.
Wow, what an ace for Workmeister. Emma Workmeister with her 47th ace of the season as the twine was kind. Thanks for bringing up pleasant memories, buddy. Appreciate it.
Always.
Another ace. Here come the Huskies, 4 points in a row.
And if you're Providence, you don't want to hit the panic button and call another timeout, but you.
I think if UConn gets a point here, you might. As you see that ace, she's got that high toss. Speaking of another ace. I'll tell you who's paying for that is the UConn players. They do that airplane thing, run in a circle. I'd be dizzy by now after 3 straight aces. Won't be 4. Providence returns.
Great answer.
Macy Taylor says not this time. Ends the run at 5. As Providence brings Lyric Berry into play up top, the conference leader in blocks as Addie Fry will serve. Boy, what an impressive run by Workmeister there.
3 straight aces.
You come back within 3. Kutlu comes this way. Killed by Rome. 20th assist for the Turkish grad student, Doa Kutlu.
And it wasn't right on the money. It forced Rome to adjust a little bit to get it in her wheelhouse, but by it being a little off, it actually created a sharper angle for Providence to try and land a block, and it really worked out to UConn's advantage.
Here's Maggie Carley back in. Came in, served an ace earlier. Bumped in the back by Mayhew. Kind of fanning on it is Otter, and suddenly we've got a 1-point match set, and now Margot Royer Johnson uses that second timeout.
Yeah, that is absolutely necessary right now for Providence. They've seen a pretty good-sized lead start to trickle away. If you're Providence, you have done so many things well in this second set, and you feel like you deserve better than a 1-point lead right now, but that's the reality of it. And on the road, things aren't always going to come easy, especially here in Storrs where you know UConn has a lot of confidence on their home. Look who's getting the serve, Maggie Carley coming in.
Yep. Served the last one. She just kind of shrugged as Ellen Herman Kimball said something to her.
I got it, Coach.
Had such a great career at Trimble High School. Blocked at the net on the kill attempt by Taylor. And that time Taylor finds floor. So Providence ends the run. They'll bring Miller McDonald in to serve. Up by 2 at 22-20.
Carly is out. McKenna Brand swaps in for her as UConn goes on the defensive.
McDonald's got that left-hand serve, which can be tricky. Floated into the back, and Wyman has to lunge for it. Tilska blocked by McDonald in the back. And Koken with kind of a long-distance kill to put Providence within 2 points of the set.
Coming out of that second timeout, this is exactly what Providence was hoping to see.
McDonald again. Kutlu's no-look second touch doesn't work. Blocked by the freshman Hughes. Jordan Hughes denying Providence.
And UConn's going a little deeper into the rotation here today, and sometimes you pick up a good one, and Hughes coming up with a nice play there.
So it'll be Kutlu to serve, down 2 at 21-23. There's Berry, and it's set point for Providence. For Lyric Berry, that's her second kill, and Macy Taylor will try to even us up at a set apiece. Kutlu sets up Tilska. Set point number 1 denied. Does UConn have another run in them? They'll bring in Grace Maria to serve.
And this was such a great feed from Kutlu. Blind behind her, delivered.
22-24. Maria with a floater. Killed in the back, and Providence takes the set. Koken with a strong second set. And so we will go at least 4, and give the Friars credit, Adam. They took control. UConn made them sweat a little bit, but Providence had more than enough at the end.
Yeah, that's what, you break it down to once it gets to the 20s, but ultimately what happens in the middle of the set means more sometimes, and Providence had built up enough of
Number 3, all even at 1 set apiece on a Sunday in stores. Workmeister right down the middle to give UConn the early jump. And the Huskies will bring Wyman in to serve. I often think Workmeister, as good as Workmeister is, when she's coming down the middle, that's her best position to attack the net.
Gives her so many options.
Right.
And we've seen it with Audrey Rome, where cutting across has been some of her best work. And UConn gets back onto the ace side of things.
Another ace for Bretta Wyman. Her first of the set, her 30th of the year. And if you're Ellen Herman Kimball, you're looking to get off to a quick start as a response and not give Providence any momentum from that strong second set that PC played. Force Taylor to back up to play it. Boy, I'll tell you what, Koken, she's strong at the net. There's nothing Grace Maria could do there.
No, and again, that wasn't one where you think, oh boy, it's the velocity got the better of you. That's one where, yeah, there was a bit of pop behind it, but it was just so well placed.
Already 10 kills for Koken. That hit off the official?
Sure did.
Boy, he stood there like a statue. He didn't move. I'd be on the ground moaning. So Providence, 2 points in a row after UConn got the first 2 points of the match. Kutlu goes far pin, and Rome with kill number 10. So for Audrey Rome, that is her 9th time this year with double-digit kills. Now, the last time we saw Workmeister on the service line, she had a stretch of 3 aces in a row. throws that ball so high. Knocks Pride down. Off the pin. Another ace for Emma. It's an Emma ace.
Yeah, and this is one area where UConn right now, they've started to get their feet beneath them, but the 7 aces still have come up against 7 service errors.
Pride from her knees plays it. Oh, nice little change of pace by Koken to get the serve back for PC.
And that's more of the same, where she's so visceral out there. Not everything's at 100%. It's how do I get a point for my squad?
Well, it's so often, it's a great point, Adam, because so often as Koken airmails the serve towards the Shankman Football Training Center, it's so often that we see the better players not just use power, use pace. Well, Maggie Carley's getting a lot of playing time today as a server for UConn. She has one of the 7 Husky aces. Koken with the set in the middle. Nice bump by Pride. UConn in rhythm. Workmeister down the middle, dug out by Koken. Great dive in the middle by Wyman. And the touch by Tilska gives UConn a 3-point lead.
Yeah, that's beautifully feathered in there by Tilska, taking a page out of Koken's book. Drops it in beyond Koken's dive.
Right at the scorer's table, down below us. A little too much energy by Maggie Carley there, so Providence gets the serve back. Carley will come out, replaced by Jordan Hughes, and it'll be Mayhew. Had 1,228 kills for Weston High in Massachusetts. Huskies come this way for Tilska. She plays it off the block. Another kill for Tilska. It's already 7 in limited time.
Right. And that's something where it really feels like for Tilska is pretty consistent with her, that she comes in, and you said it earlier, Joe, that she's just an infusion of energy. She's got the fresh legs coming in off the bench.
Once she's got the fresh legs also, there's a little bit of Kudlu. Kudlu kind of looked at Brand as they huddled up, like slyly, like saying, yeah, I planned that all along. Another ace for UConn. 8 aces, 8 errors, and an 8-4 lead. Another ace. Boy, the Huskies, when they get aces, they're stringing them together. Margot Royer-Johnson has seen enough. Calls her first timeout. We'll take a break. Even in a set apiece, UConn. Free ball, UConn up 5. Tilska just hit it out. She had space, she just overpowered it. So Providence scores off the timeout, and they'll call on Addie Fry to serve down 4. Fry at the far side. Good deep low serve that Brand's got to go low to get. Free ball Providence. Berry in the middle. Lyric Berry cuts the UConn lead to 3. Another Texan out of Wiley, Texas. You ever been there?
No. Have you?
No.
Oh, okay. I was in Houston less than
That's why
12 hours ago.
I thought maybe the barbecue on Friday night was in Lyric. Or where it was in Wiley. Nice dig in the back by Workmeister. Not as good a pass as Kudlu would have liked there. Hughes was off balance, so Providence on a 3-point run gets back within 2. And we have another. We've seen quick timeouts here in this. So Ellen Herman Kimball uses the first of her 2 timeouts this set to get Her team reset after Providence gets within 2.
And here's a look at how UConn got out to its early lead before Providence has now chipped away with 3 straight points. These aces have been in a couple of different ways where, you've got the first couple from Workmeister, then Kutlu comes up with one that just clips the top of the net. And then this last one's a little bit more of a traditional variety as she drops one in. So, for Providence, it's hard to point a finger and say they're not defending one type of serve well.
Fry. Kutlu comes this way. And Tilska bangs it off of Otter to get the serve back to UConn up 3. And they'll ask Maria to get some points on her serve for UConn. Maria came in 3rd on the team with 171 points this season. They go far side. Nice dig by Kutlu to keep it alive. Workmeister from deep. This will be a free ball for UConn. In the middle, Hughes. That short pass working again. Put UConn up 4.
Seen a lot of good things out of Hughes here today. It's been limited opportunities, limited reps over the course of the season, but saying she's a freshman, and I think the next 3 years are certainly going to be a lot of Hughes being used by the Huskies.
Kill at the net by Barry. Gets the serve back to Providence. That last assist by Kutlu, her 27th of the match. Here's Miller McDonald, 10th in the conference and aces per set. That one pretty returnable. Perry from the left. Look out. Boy, people at the scores table saw their life flash in front of them as Koken came in their direction. So Brand will serve with UConn up 4. So I'm watching the players on UConn there as Carly comes out, and Eli Adams, who goes 6'2", raised her hands as high as she could to make Carly jump as high as she could to slap her 5. Joust at the net, look out. Almost friendly fire in the UConn side. McDonald's blocked at the net. McDonald's blocked again. Audrey Rome with 2 rejections to get UConn up 5.
Got her once, got her twice. There was chaos developing at the net, and UConn had Workmeister and Rome. That's the initial, that's the second.
Huskies up 5. It equals their biggest lead of the set. They led 9-4. Blocked by Rome, and Workmeister goes out off the Berry kill. Lyric Berry working herself into the match a little bit more. She was kind of quiet early on, but has been effective here in the 3rd set as Taylor gets set to serve. Tied in a set apiece. There's another block by Berry. Providence in rhythm. Now it's UConn. The bump to Workmeister. Nice setup by Maria, and Workmeister didn't miss. And she's now in double digits with 10 kills.
That is not an easy ball to land in play from Workmeister. Just given where she is on the court, that it's being set up off of a bump, and going cross court like that puts it in such a tough spot for Providence to do anything with it.
18th time this year, 58th time at UConn that Workmeister has 10 or more kills in a set. Wyman to serve for Connecticut. Up 5. Very kind of a underhand flip at the net, and Workmeister bangs it off of Fryer. Biggest lead of the set for UConn at 15-9.
Looking over to the Providence bench to see if they want to put a halt to anything or this thing continues to grow.
Huskies in the midst of a 4-1 run. Another good serve by Wyman. Margot Royer-Johnson getting up to address her team, trying to encourage them on. But they're down 7. And much like in the second set where Providence took control, this is UConn taking control here. 3 straight points, 2 off the serve by Wyman. Now, when they've set up Koken, she has not missed very often. Her 12th kill, the 14th assist, 13th assist by McDonald. So Hadley Pride, listed at 5'5", might have been wearing elevator sneakers that day.
Well, 6'4" would have been a little too exaggerated.
Yeah, exactly. Workmeister plays it off. Koken at the net for another kill, and Margot Royer-Johnson will talk about it. 7.
Easterbrook and Koken did such a good job at the net to keep that thing alive for Providence, and you thought it might turn the tide, but instead the lead continues to grow.
Emma Workmeister, ace number 5. She gets so much on that serve. She throws the ball so high in the air and generates such power and never goes over the line. Never gets called for a line infraction. Another ace.
Wow, and the body language from Macy Taylor, probably not what Providence wanted to see, just basically saying, what do I do?
Right.
How do I defend
Exactly.
this? Just coming at you from every which way.
6 aces for Workmeister, and UConn gets to 21st. And another ace.
They rotated Taylor to the middle and still wasn't able to navigate.
Margot Royer-Johnson off the bench, emphatically clapping towards Macy Taylor. Another ace. Aces are wild for Emma. That's the second time today she's strung together 3 aces in a row.
Yes, powerful. And that's the type of stuff when you talk to Ellen Herman Kimball, she says that she's got a couple of future pros in her midst.
Another ace. You know, they should just tape PA announcer Jason Southard and just push a button. I mean, this is unbelievable.
No answer right now from the Friars.
And, you know, I was going to say the law of averages has to catch up with Workmeister. And she gets a standing ovation from the crowd at the UVC. Ace after ace. Here's an ace for you. Here's an ace for you.
The Oprah of UConn volleyball.
23-11. Tilska blocked at the net. So if you're Providence, what you're looking to do here realistically is string together a couple of points and build some momentum for the 4th set. Because the odds are you're not coming from 23-10 down. Stranger things have happened.
But just find a way. Absolutely.
Dug out by Workmeister. Tilska wins the joust at the net, but Providence keeps it in play. And Atkins with a kill. So it's 3 in a row for Providence.
Lands one on the line. Beautifully done by Atkins.
23-13.
Have a
contact issue?
Thought so.
Tilska's going over
Kutlu.
Or Kutlu, I'm sorry. Kutlu's going over. I tell you what, she's got a grin She's making some sort of signal. I'm not sure what it was that fell out. Don't think it was the contact. Far side, Rome blocked. Kulu keeps it alive. Free ball, Providence. Trying to string 4 together in a row, and they do. Sophia Atkins and Ellen Herman Kimball sees the Friars get some momentum and decides to stop it.
Right, because if you're UConn, again, as we said, odds are that you are going to get out of here picking up this third set.
Huskies out of rhythm there. Took Kutlu a little off balance, and a wry grin on the face of Ellen Herman Kimball. Grinning on the outside, seething on the inside, would be my guess.
An impatient grin, I think.
Yes, that's a better phrase. Here's Tilska from deep, dug out by Pride. Tilska gets a hand on it. And the block at the net by Otter. And it's 6 straight points for the Friars.
And now here comes Grace Maria in as a substitute. Tilska to head out.
Yeah, Maria a little bit better receiving serve than Tilska. So they'll put her in the back line. UConn with 4 in the back. Wyman's like playing playing free safety back there. They go to Brand. Dug out by Pride. Wyman. Rome is blocked. They come this way in the middle. Koken plays it easily. Maria the bump. Workmeister. Pride with a great dig. Joust at the net. Point PC. Atkins stayed with it.
7-0 run, Joe.
7 unanswered. Maybe you can come back from 13 down, Adam. Maybe we spoke too soon.
You know, the margin of error is a razor's edge, but right now, Providence walking that tightrope.
They come this way from Maria, and she sends it long. It's an 8-0 Providence run, and UConn does not have a timeout. And for the first time today, we see the senior Ava Saballero come in for Doa Kutlu. Saw a couple of loose passes from Kutlu there. What a run this has been. 7 straight points on serve for Koken. Blocked at the net. Make it 9 in a row. It's a 4-point set.
Think about where the emotion of this whole venue is at after the 4 straight aces by Emma Workmeister. And it is an uncomfortable murmur from the UConn fans at the moment.
Good deep serves by Koken. Maria's dink is answered. Blocked! Otter. It's a 10-0 run. I don't know what's more improbable, 4 straight aces or 10 straight points.
Yes, both. And one to come right after the other.
Right. Assistant coach Peter Netensinga trying to encourage the Huskies. What a service run by Koken. Not spectacular like Workmeister. And UConn's given Providence easy balls to return. That's been the problem. Free ball Friars looking to get within 2. Maria dives for it. Workmeister down the middle. Kept alive. Dug out in the back. They come this way for Maria. And Grace Maria bails out UConn.
And that was Saballero on the far side who did a great job of keeping that alive. We'll see it there. High into the air, gave Maria a chance.
And UConn brings in Carly. Maggie Carly, the little-used sophomore, junior from Trumbull, to try to serve out set number 3. And she does it with an ace. The 15th ace for UConn this afternoon. So it took longer than they thought it would on the afternoon. Gives her 26 on the season. McDonald powers it through the block of Hughes and Workmeister to put Providence on top.
Yeah, there's nothing that's happened so far that doesn't make you think Providence can take this fourth set and push this to a fifth. Absolutely nothing.
It'll be Pride to serve. Jess Perry, the lefty, uses the right hand for a one-handed kill. And now Brand will serve even at one.
She's got the smile. She said, yeah, I can mix it up.
Yeah. She's just happy to be out there playing again. And we've said has gone through an injury-plagued senior season. Koken. Nothing Maria could do about that. 14th kill of the game of the match for Koken. And now she'll serve with Providence back up. As they bring the 6'2" Otter back in.
Yeah, Koken's got the match high 14 kills. Workmeister for UConn has 10, and Rome with Workmeister 12, Rome with 10, but an error there.
Fourth service error against Providence, against only 2 aces. Meanwhile, UConn, we mentioned the 15 aces, only 9 service errors for UConn. Much better percentage than we've seen at times from Connecticut. Here's Brenna Wyman. Nice setup that time by Koken, but the Huskies respond. Once again, Koken keeps it alive. Blocked at the net. They come in the middle. Perfectly placed by Otter. Beautiful setup there, and Tori Otter gives Providence a 3-2 lead with Atkins to serve. Nice pass by Hadley Pride. Boy, Pride, she's that being diminutive helps her get down for some of those blocks. Kudlu couldn't get to it. So Providence with the first 2-point run of the set. And it'll be Atkins to serve again. 23 times double-digit kills this season. She had 26 against Seton Hall. Workmeister from deep, couldn't get a lot on it. Blocked at the net. They go far pin. Boy, Workmeister looked like an octopus, flailing away trying to get to it.
Every which way, every possible limb, and this is a quick early timeout for UConn, not liking Providence racing out to 5 of the first 7 points of the deficits, not liking the execution, the mechanics, the strategy. They're sensing something. It's not, you don't just call a timeout when it's 5-2. It's, you call a timeout when it's 5-2 and you don't like a specific thing that your team is doing.
Atkins has been good from the service line until then. 5th service error for the Friars, and here's the ace machine. 9 aces, a career high so far for Emma Workmeister. First time she has served in set number 4. Yep.
Football.
What did I say earlier?
Yeah.
Never gets called for a foot fault. Got called for one there. So here's Fry. Transfer from Army West Point in her 2nd year in the black and white of Providence. Although she wore black and gold at Army, so the color scheme didn't change much for Addie. Well, that was as good as a service ace because the return gave Providence a free ball and a chance at a kill, which they capitalized on. And now they lead it by 5.
I'd have to imagine the wake-up time changed for Addie.
Oh. You think between being a cadet and being a Friar? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty safe bet. Same thing on the serve, only this time Kutlu wins the net duel. But well placed by Otter. Boy, the swings of momentum in this match have been wild.
That was 23-10. And ever since then, Providence has won about 80% of the points.
Now on a 7-1 run. Rome ends that with her 11th kill. And here comes Carly in to serve it again for UConn. So UConn led it 23-10.
So it's a 19-5 run that Providence was on just prior to that point. Now it's a 19-6 run by the Friars.
Carly trying to serve UConn back in the set. Huskies lead 2-1. Barry misses on the kill attempt. You know, one thing that's been noticeable here is that Providence hasn't had to do a lot of diving to return serves for UConn. UConn's back line has had to hit the floor a lot to return Providence's serve. And it's bizarre because UConn's got the 15 aces.
Yep.
That was their 11th service error. And Providence gets the serve up 10-5. And they'll give it to Miller McDonald. McDonald and Koken both with 15 assists. In fact, it's a triple-double for Koken. Her 4th of the season. UConn regains the serve for Kutlu. Koken with 14 kills, 15 assists, and 10 blocks. Or rather, I'm sorry, 10 digs. Though a Kutlu trying to get UConn back in the set. Banged off the blockers by Lyric Berry. UConn has only run consecutive points once in this set, unable to get any momentum.
Again, Providence has done some early work, so they don't need to go on any massive run up until UConn is able to. Just a third ace of this match for Providence.
Macy Taylor came into the match with 19 service aces on the season. And Providence has doubled up UConn. Tilska. And now she's in double figures with 10 kills.
Just super powerful there from Tilska, and she swaps out after earning that point for Maria on the serve.
Both teams listed with 42 kills, but doesn't it seem like UConn's got more? Kept alive by a leaping Brand and killed by a fierce Workmeister. She's approaching a rare double-double. Kills and aces. Yeah. Finally, UConn able to run 2 points in a row. Maria will try to make it 3. And she does with an ace. Equals the season high with 16. Served it right at Lyric Berry, who had the receiving error. Good deep serve, bumped by Taylor. That's airmailed. And UConn's deficit is only 2. A rare mistake by Sophia Atkins. Three straight points on Grace Maria's serve. Make it 4 with another ace. And boy, Margot Royer Johnson furious as she gets off the bench and her team takes her time out. One thing with Coach Johnson, Royer Johnson, you know what she's thinking.
Yep, absolutely. And they're just frustrated. The team was not able to react. UConn right now with those 17 service aces. And by the way, this year across all of Division I volleyball, there have only been 2 teams. Now, this could go 5 sets, of course, but in matches that went 4 sets, Jacksonville State had 19 aces in a 14-set match against Mid-Tennessee State. Cornell had 18 against Niagara, and then it would be UConn at 17 aces. So we are seeing something that has just been, it feels like a lot. Well, we can confirm across the hundreds and hundreds of 4-set matches in Division I volleyball this year, this is, by a lot of measures, a lot of.
And she does. I'll tell you what, the way that UConn has strung together aces in this set has been kind of stunning.
Another one for which Providence has no answer.
Third tie of the set. Now, Hughes might have been better off letting that go, but that's a tough decision there, and Providence gets the serve back up 1.
By the way, you mentioned UConn women's basketball, 66-point win today in exhibition action against Southern Connecticut State.
Huskies open the season next week at Navy against Louisville. Maria bumps it to the front for Workmeister, who pushes it over to keep the point alive. They go far side for Koken, and Kudlu gets it. Perry keeps it alive. Far pin. Played by Atkins. This might be the longest point of the match so far. Providence in system. Bump by Kudlu. Workmeister. Kill number 14 to tie the set at 13.
You mentioned all of these lengthy exchanges, and then Workmeister drilling one at Pride and forcing her to make a decision one way or the other.
Here's McKenna Brand. Looked like that might have gone out, but Taylor decided to play it. UConn in system in the middle. And Audrey Rome gives UConn their first lead of the 4th set. Her 12th kill of the match. Rome hitting 346. That's lower than her season average, which is 386. Koken blocked at the net, kept alive though. Kudlu going deep and couldn't sneak it in.
Obviously, if she had to do it over, she'd like to physically do differently. She might also wish she had just taken a different approach and not rushed into something.
So here's Koken. 15 kills, 15 assists to go along with the 10 digs. Once again, they go up the middle, but Rome is blocked. Providence has an answer. They try to go diagonal, but Otter sends that out. So we have another lead change. Brenna Wyman will come in and serve for UConn. Wyman out of Louisville. Huskies lead by 1. Nice sliding play in the back there. Good dive by Brand. Workmeister fires it off the block for her 15th kill. Both coaches up encouraging their teams. Nobody sits on the sidelines. Blocked at the net. UConn in the midst of a 5-2 run, and there's another timeout. Second and final one of the set for Margot Royer-Johnson. So UConn, which trailed by as many as 6 at 9-3 and 12-6, making this an extended 11-2 run.
Yeah, it's been pretty impressive for UConn to find their footing, because it was that 19-5 run between sets at the end of the set by Providence, and now UConn has really found a way as we, take a look at what UConn's been able to do here in this set, and looking to improve to 5-5 in conference play, and it just feels like this was one that was really trending toward 5 sets, but UConn doesn't want to let it get there.
5 ties, 1 lead change in this 4th set. Don't forget, if you're new to watching volleyball, if it goes to a 5th set, it's 1st to 15, winning by 2. The story of the game, though, has been the 18 service aces for UConn. 9 of them coming from Emma Workmeister. That gives her 55 on the season. Brenna Wyman, her 3rd serve for UConn in this run. Boy, Atkins, yeah, we haven't talked about it as much, but Sophia Atkins, the sophomore from Cincinnati, she comes at it with a lot of power from her outside hitter position.
Had a quiet first set, but picked up 2 kills in the second, 3 in the third. That's her first kill in set number 4.
And an ace.
Yeah.
Looked like it took Workmeister off guard that time from the aforementioned Ms. Atkins.
Well, and if you look at where this hits Workmeister, I think the read was correct that this was going long. She just couldn't get out of the way of the knuckleball.
36 ace for Atkins this year, but she airmails that and gets the serve back to UConn up 2. Here comes Tilska back in to play up front with Workmeister to serve. Can she get to 10 service aces in a match? Yes. Emphatically. The 19th ace for UConn. What did you say the season high was?
Yeah, in a 4-set match, no team has had more than 19 aces. Jacksonville State did it in a win over Mid-Tennessee State.
That time, though, Workmeister sails it long. Providence will bring Addie Fry in to serve. Down 17-19 here in the 4th. UConn 6 points away from win number 16 of the season and number 5 in the Big East Conference. But they have a lot of work to do to get there, because we saw how Providence charged to the finish line in the 3rd set. Bumped by Wyman. Overpowering by Tilska on the far side. And UConn first to 20 on the Tilska-Kilska.
And also, in terms of aces individually by Workmeister, Bryn Botkin of Southern Miss, Anya Schmidt of St. Thomas, Hannah Parent of Alabama, the only 3 to have 10 aces in a 4-set match this year.
It's a good response for UConn off the disappointment yesterday, and it's an ace, number 20. Boy, what a good game for Maggie Carley. Hadn't seen much action before today. Had only played 5 sets in 5 matches. Good low serve fielded by Taylor. Kept alive by Wyman. Tilska's shot is answered. Dug out in the back by Workmeister. Providence keeping the point alive. Workmeister plays it alive, but they give the point to UConn.
And we're going to get a chat.
Yeah.
We're going to get clarification by Margot Royer-Johnson.
Nope.
But not a challenge.
Nope, not a challenge. She talked to the second referee. So another point for Carly on her. So let's see if we can see anything here. Service error number 13 for UConn. So Providence will bring McDonald in to serve. Down 4, down 2 sets to 1. That left-handed service caused UConn some problems. Not there. Good dig by Wyman. Powerful by Macy Taylor. And Providence back within 3. UConn went on a 14-4 run to take control of the match. Now Providence, with the set, now Providence trying to battle their way back in it.
Impressive pancake to keep it alive, but
couldn't do much once the ball was dead and
no,
hitting the net. So Providence within 2, and Ellen Herman Kimball will burn her second and final timeout. So both teams will be out of timeout. It'll be Miller McDonald, the junior from Dallas, to serve. She's got 18 assists on the match. Dug out in the back by Brand. Rome powers it through the block to get the serve back for UConn. Huskies 2 points away from win number 16 on the season. And they'll call on Kudlu to try to close it out. Doe's got 2 of the 20 aces this afternoon for UConn. Brand bumps it far side. Boy, what a play to try to keep it alive, but going into the scorer's table was Taylor, and it's set point for the Huskies and match point. Or no, the score was, yes, it is.
There we go.
I was wondering there.
There we go.
So, we get a challenge from the Friars. See what we can see here on our replay as they go to the iPad to check it out. It's a pivotal call.
It is.
Either 23-21 or 24-20. It was kind of a delayed call. Let's see what we get here. A delayed request. Well, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what the. Oh, okay. Lindsay Lemoyne in the control room says they're claiming a net violation. That's a 40-second review, and the challenge failed. But you know what? If you're Margot Royer-Johnson, why not?
Yeah.
Right? You got nothing to lose. So set point for match point for UConn. Jason Southard on the PA had already semi-said match point. Crowd on their feet, rhythmic applause here at the UConn Volleyball Center as they continue to check with the table. See what Kutlu has up her sleeve here, which would be difficult because it's a sleeveless uniform. Dug out in the back.
Oh,
Huskies, look out, stuff falling out of the rafters, and UConn wins. How bizarre was that? UConn played it off the rafters. It looked like confetti or something falling from the rafters. Let's see if we can see it again. Watch this.